Opinionated Idiot.
What up, everybody? We're live. It's Friday night. Let's see, what's the date here? It's April 28th, 2023. You're getting a double dose today, a double dose of the Opinionated Idiot YouTube live show. And I got to be honest, I had a completely different stream planned. And then all of a sudden, my amazing chat, just this one little idea pops up. And I have to give Candy the credit in this because she started this thread and we went really quick for about a 15-minute deep dive. And the question is, do we miss something in the PCA? Let's go over that. I'm going to bring the PCA out. We need to read about this. Is there evidence in there that we might have missed? Now, I could be wrong, like I said, but we're going to go through, we're going to read it. And I have some theories of to what could be going on. And I want to recognize everybody else in my chat as this kind of idea started brewing in there. A lot of people were chiming in, and some things clicked with me, and I said, wow, this actually might make some sense. So we're going to go through the PCA again. And this is why I love that we've been doing all these looking back shows, because sometimes we get so forward in an investigation, we tend to forget. And sometimes there's those things that could be right in front of your face that you didn't see the whole time, or maybe you read it a lot different. So again, I'm going to pull the PCA up. We'll mull this over. We'll think of some theories. And again, we're using that evidence. We're using the evidence because it's there. It's in front of us. It's factual. It's written down. It's in a document. It's going to be presented in court. But first, let me recognize everybody in the chat here really quick. Let's go up to the top, up to the top, to the top, up to the top. All right. Let's recognize the chatters in the chat. All right. Heather is here. Hello, Heather. How are you? Candy's in the house. Hello, Victorine. They beat you. Heather was here first. Victorine's always usually here first. We have Firefly in here. Butterflies is here as well. Karen T. Hello. Who else we got? Cindy's here as well. Cactus Flower says, good evening, everyone. Tsunami's here. It's bow chicka bow bow. I love it. Who else we got here? Diana's here. Hello. She says, sending good vibes. Who else we got? And Cindy says, Brian is the brain. We're all the brains. We all take part in all of this. Unravel's here. Hello. How are you? Victorine says, this is my favorite channel. Thank you so much. Who else we got? Danielle is here. Hello. How are you? Tsunami says, idiots breaking the web. Yes, you guys all broke the web back there in my back room chat. I love it. We're going to run with this idea, see what we can come up with. Cindy's Florida River Fossils is here. Hello. Laura's in the house. Hello, Laura. How are you? Let's see. Who else we got? Who else do we have? Sunflower Soul is here. Chosen Rosen in the house. Mandy Jo is there. She says, whoa, I made it. And I don't want to miss anybody, but I think I might have. Misty Barger's here. Hello, Misty. Crazy Grandma, I love that name, is here as well. And we're getting to the end. Dina is here. Hello, Dina. Texas Girl is here. Wild Cherry is here. And I think we're to the end. We're to the end. All right, we're going to pull this PCA up. I got one of the resident idiots here that's going to jump in with me, and we're going to try to decipher this and figure this whole damn thing out for all of you. We might be crazy. But let's say hello. Hello, Agent Chase. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. So what are we doing? Did we miss something here, or are we crazy?
I think we could have missed something here.
All right, let's pull this up again. We're going to pull the PCA up and let's read through this. Let me just enlarge it for everybody. And I want to start with this statement on page 5. This is kind of what brought up all of kind of the backroom chatter. And I forget how it all came up, but the statement here on this specific paragraph. So let me read it, and then we're going to go back, I think, and read a little bit of the paragraphs before it and the paragraphs after. And maybe this will start making some sense, but maybe we can come up with some theories as well. Well, let me see if I can get this lined up perfectly. Okay. So here is strange. Now, we know that there's been a lot of conversation about Bethany Funke over the last couple of days. We know what's going on with all that, so I'm not going to review that. But I find this interesting, and I find this interesting in the PCA, and maybe it was there this whole entire time in front of our face. So it says the combination of DM's statements to law enforcement, reviews of forensic downloads of the records of Bethany Funke and Dylan Mortenson's phone. So I want to stop there. I completely forgot about that. This is the sentence that it's just a little bit weird. This is the one that's kind of throwing me off. And it says, and video of a suspect video as described below leads investigators to believe the homicides occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. Now, logically, when you look at that, maybe this was a language error. You know, maybe it's the video of a suspect's vehicle. Let's just say we go on that as well. Did someone on their phone video a car leaving the residence that night? What do you think, Laura?
Well, I believe that it was written in haste and it was not proofread. I believe somebody brought up the point last night that the judge reviewed the entire PCA in what we assume to be about a half hour video of a suspect. And I'm assuming when Brett Payne typed this, I believe it was Brett Payne that typed this, or it was written, or he handwrote it and it was transcribed. Video of a suspect vehicle. I believe it should say vehicle. I mean, I'd love to see in the chat if you believe it should,
Right.
what everybody thinks.
But it's still interesting because it says a video of a suspect. Let's say video or vehicle. Let's just say it's vehicle. Okay. Now let me read a little bit down here. And this is where it kind of caught me a little bit. During the process of the crime scene, investigators found a latent shoe print. This was located during the second process of the crime scene by ISP forensic team by first using presumptive blood test and amino black, a protein stain that detects the presence of cellular material. The detected shoe print showed a diamond-shaped pattern similar to the pattern of the Vans type shoe sole, just outside the door of DM's bedroom, located on the second floor. This is consistent with DM's statement regarding the suspect's path of travel. As part of the investigation, an extensive search, commonly referred to in law enforcement as a video canvas, which was conducted in the area of the King Road residence. This video canvas was obtained by any footage from the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022, in the area of King Road residence and surrounding neighborhoods in the effort to locate a suspect's vehicle or suspect vehicle traveling or leaving from King Road residence. The video canvas results in the collection of numerous surveillance videos in the area from both residential and business addresses, I have reviewed numerous videos that are collected and had conversations with other MPD officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents that are similarly reviewing footage that was obtained.
Hmm.
Interesting. I don't know where to go with this. This statement is throwing me off a little bit.
It looks as if okay, so they downloaded Bethany and Dylan's phones,
We know they got that.
and through the review of forensic downloads. So, number 1 through Bethany's phone, 2 Dylan's phone, a video of a suspect, and we'll say vehicle, thinking that maybe it was an error. Video
Sure.
of a suspect vehicle as described below. Okay. So the video is described below. And then they talk about the latent
Video.
footprint, which in my opinion should not be there. That paragraph should be moved elsewhere. So then we scroll down to what you just scrolled down to with the video canvas. It was conducted in the area of the King Road residence.
But it says residential from both residential and business addresses. Let's just throw a theory here.
So
Go
we're
ahead.
looking at probably ring cams, doorbell cameras, security cameras from that neighborhood. And as well as if they forensic downloads of their phones could be text messages or snaps, something to that nature of what was that? Did you hear that? What is going on? Either way. Um, so yeah, I think that they have a vehicle on camera during the time of 4 a.m. to 4:25 a.m. I
That
think by them
matches
saying
suspect vehicle, which would be
sus
suspect vehicle 1.
and by saying suspect vehicle, I would think it would exclude the DoorDash driver because they
Right.
probably already have, the DoorDash driver's vehicle and can verify that, and fingers crossed that that DoorDash driver did not drive a white Hyundai.
Right.
If that would just be all of our luck, right? That, that would just throw a wrench right in the plans. So that's what I'm thinking. They have to have some type of camera footage of a suspect vehicle.
So let's just let me throw a something in the ether here. And we were talking about this, and some of my idiots in my chat room said this, and I kind of threw some. There were some ideas coming in, and I said, "Well, let me say this. What if the DoorDash driver shows up? Okay, goes maybe to the, you were saying maybe he goes to the back door first, downstairs. This awakes Bethany. Okay, she gets up, looks out the window. She goes back to bed. Let's say she hears everything that's going on upstairs. She's awake. She hears everything that's going on upstairs, afraid to go upstairs, and let's say grabs her phone. And she's either recording in the house or maybe sees someone, sees the white car pull away from the house, records it. I mean, it's plausible. I'm not crazy.
It's quite plausible. I mean, the mention of that video, because if it's mentioned in the PCA, it most likely has some type of relevance to the case. So therefore, that is how they've tried to figure out the time of the murders. So I think that the time has to be pretty solid based upon we don't know the exact evidence they have to verify that time, but they definitely have something that we're not aware of.
So Cindy's saying, great theory. Anything is possible, Danielle says. And that's the thing, too. And I've said this, we look at the evidence, maybe there's something in there that we're not seeing or reading correctly. And that's why I kind of brought this up. Maybe she recorded something inside the house. She heard the commotion, the screaming, noises that weren't noises that were foreign to that environment. Yes, there was a lot of partying that went on in there. There was a lot of, laughing and screaming, kids having fun, but this seemed off to her maybe. And she was so frightened that she didn't want to go upstairs and recorded it. I don't know. It's just, it's strange that I didn't read that before like that.
Every time I read the PCA, I get something new from it. Maybe it's just the processing of the information, because there is just so much in the PCA. Candy just said, does that maybe go hand in hand with what came out recently with the has evidence of her own experience? Absolutely, in my
Sure.
opinion. I absolutely.
And maybe they know she has maybe some video or even just an audio recording. Maybe she hit her, there's an audio recording on your phone. Maybe she has something like that. They threw this out there to scare her, the defense to scare her, shake her up a little bit and make her a non-credible, credible witness. Because she's going to get called for the prosecution. I mean, you and I have talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, she's going to be on the stand for the prosecution, because they want her to testify to the fact of where Xana and Ethan were based upon Sigma Chi and that party, as well as other little details, that she might have that's not mentioned in the PCA. Because remember, the PCA is just the tip of the iceberg, what they needed to
To
arrest him.
arrest, right? It's not everything, and that's what we've always said too.
They'd be fools to put everything in it. They'd be fools to lay out their cards right away, because then the defense would be able to start poking holes from the beginning instead of building their own case.
So Million Chains for More, real quick. Sorry to butt in
Oh
on you. She says,
no!
FYI, there are 217,000 cameras in Moscow, Idaho. It's a safe city. Wow.
Wow! Wow!
And then Firefly's now saying Bethany Funke had to see something out that front window. I think so.
She had to have.
You hear all this commotion that's going on upstairs. You're scared for your life to go up there. Okay. You grab your phone. Maybe you see some action going out the front. I mean, the thing that people have to remember too, that area was very well lit. This guy whoever the suspect is, whoever committed these murders, did this in a very well lit area. And there was a lot of people. I remember Brian Enton saying that I think he went out there multiple times a night. It was either him or Nancy Grace. And they said that they went out to that house at multiple times at night at different days and hours. They said there are so many people walking in and out of that area, and it's very well lit at all times. I mean, this was done basically in broad daylight. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's very well lit. We're not just thinking of a dark alley. It's very well lit, as well as inside the house was well lit. I believe they had like Christmas lights strung.
Yeah.
Oh, um, oh, let me finish my sentence before
Go
we
ahead.
I can even. They had Christmas lights. They had the Good Vibes light. They had some lights around the house, so the house wasn't pitch black either. So
Right.
I'll let you take this, Brian. There you go.
So D Small said they had Apple Watches. I believe that could be hearsay. Yeah, I mean that'd be very interesting. I'm sure a lot of the young kids, Gen Z, millennials. I mean that I know, they wear a lot of Apple Watches. I'd be curious to see if any of them had Apple Watches on. To get that data as well. That's the thing that everybody has to remember. And that's what I keep stressing in all of this. And I think that, when you come on our lives, we always talk about this. All that evidence is not out there. There's going to be, and I know I sound like a broken record, but, over 105 different pieces of evidence collected at King Road, over 4,000 scans and photos of King Road. You have the evidence that was collected at his parents' house, evidence that was collected at his apartment. You're going to have the the quote unquote rolling crime scene, if it is a crime scene, and then whatever camera footage, bank records, Google searches, YouTube history, Walmart receipts, Amazon transactions, eBay transactions. It's kind of funny. I was talking to someone today and we talked about this, I think on live the other day. And he said, I don't know if that could be possible. Someone said to me, because we were I was trying to find that connection with the knife, Amazon, Walmart, eBay. You know what this person said to me? What if he tried to sell it on eBay?
Huh.
Isn't that funny?
That would be, yeah, ironic.
And
I
then,
mean, that would be ballsy.
yeah,
That would be terribly ballsy.
be a quick way to get rid of a murder weapon, right?
Yeah, I mean, remember, I believe, I believe, and a lot of people have talked about he believed, and eyewitnesses that knew him said he believed he was very, very intelligent. And he was the smartest guy in the room.
Mhm.
Um, so he's obviously thinking, "Oh, I got this." Um, given it's him, of course. Given it's him, of course, but he's very well versed in the criminal justice field. Let's just say that.
Right.
That's a fact. He is very well versed given his history of his education.
Yeah, I mean, Victorine says Enton basically camped out there, you know.
Yeah, Nancy Grace set up a picnic table
Yeah,
type
and
of
they
thing.
did you see all the signs that people were putting up for Nancy Grace?
Oh, Nancy Grace.
Oh man, they were like, literally there was legit signs that were like, get the fuck out of our area.
They were
Go
not
home, Nancy Grace. They hate her. So
they were
and then
not thrilled with her being there.
yeah, and then Victorine says it was well lit in the area. Sweet and Salty says it can be easily traced. I sell on multiple platforms. Yeah, and I think that's what they were doing. I think the Amazon and the eBay stuff might have been a quick grab, but I've been really focusing on the Walmart search warrant, and I find that to be very interesting. As we know, there was a Walmart receipt that was taken from his apartment. So, I mean, could he have been so brazen to just walk in there and buy the knife from Walmart? So, I don't know, but it's interesting to kind of throw this theory around, and I didn't even I didn't even see that before when I read through this. You know how sometimes your brain just kind of sees words and it's a different word, but your brain kind of is trained to think that it is, the way in a context of a sentence, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're hyper focused on one thing and you
Right.
ignore other things because we were looking for more obvious things than something slid in there that they downloaded their phones and that's how they were able to figure out what happened. So that tells me that not only was Dylan awake at the time, but most likely so was Bethany, or she
Mhm.
was awakened if they used both of their phones to determine the time of the murder.
So let's see this. Let's do a poll. What should we do? Do you think Bethany Funk has video of what happened, or how should we word this? Do you think BF has video of um,
Um,
let's say the suspect? Let's do that uh, on that night. All right, throw that up there. We're gonna ask the community. We're gonna ask the community. All right, poll at the top there. You guys can vote. Do you think BF has video of the suspect on that night? You know what I want to do? Let's go back a couple of more sentences and maybe we can extrapolate some more information that might make some more sense as to what is going on here. So I'm going to go up in the PCA a little bit and I want to go back to where uh, TM had the encounter. Okay.
okay.
And maybe we can go up a little bit more. All right, let's start here. So it says DM and BF both made statements during interviews that indicated the occupants of King Road residence were home by 2 a.m. And asleep, or at least in their rooms by approximately 4 a.m. This is with the exception of Grenodal, who received a DoorDash order at the residence at approximately 4 a.m. Law enforcement identified the DoorDash delivery driver who reported this information. So again, let's say all right. Let's say the DoorDash wakes up Bethany, or she goes to the window and looks out.
Okay.
All right. So let's You can throw that out there. All right, let's keep going. So DM stated she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the south side of the second floor. DM stated she was awoken at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Gonzalez playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms. Wait a minute. The DoorDash came at 4 a.m. DM stated she awoken at approximately 4 a.m. So the DoorDash and let's say the suspect was in the house. The DoorDash was being delivered exactly the same time that the suspect was in the house.
I guess without knowing the exact timeline, that's ultimately possible that
By what she
they didn't happen after one of another and it happened concurrently.
By what she stated, sounded like Gonzalez playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were located on the third floor, which I don't believe that's true. I think that she might have thought that's what she heard. I think that was the first commotion.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
agree.
opinion.
And it was Murphy being alerted to somebody else there.
Sure.
Since
Short time later.
he was not really a barker.
So short time later, DM said she heard who she thought was Gonzalez saying something in the effort, "There's someone here." A review of the records obtained from forensic download of Kernodle's phone showed that this could have been Kernodle, as her cell phone indicated she was likely awake and using the TikTok app at approximately 4:12 a.m.
Okay.
DM stated she looked out of her bedroom but didn't see anything when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. And I've stated that there's someone here, which I think was they were attacked already, and that was Gonzalez screaming out to the house to warn them there's someone here, screaming.
That is also very possible. That
DM,
was her
go ahead.
yelling and Dylan couldn't quite make out what it was.
DM stated that she looked out of her bedroom but did not see anything when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. DM stated she opened the door a second time when she heard that she thought was crying coming from Kernodle's room. DM then said she heard a male voice say something to the effect of, "It's okay. I'm going to help you." That statement chills me every single time.
That's probably one of the hardest things to really take in.
Yeah. At approximately 4:17 a.m., a security camera located on 1112 King Road, a residence immediately on the northwest of 1122 King Road, picked up the distorted audio of what sounds like voices or whimpers followed by a loud thud. A dog can also be heard barking numerous times at 4:17 a.m. The security camera is less than 50 feet from the west side of Kernodle's bedroom. DM then stated she opened the door for a third time after she heard crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered a person's mouth and nose walking towards her. DM described the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past DM as she stood in a, quote, frozen shock phase. The male walked towards the backsliding glass. DM locked herself in her room after seeing the male. DM did not state that she recognized the male. DM did not state that she recognized the male, so she never said anything about that.
Yeah, she just merely did not make that statement.
She just this leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene. The combination of DM's statements to law enforcement, reviews of forensic downloads of records from BF and DM's phone, and video of suspect video, as described below, leads investigators to believe the homicides occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m.
A lot happened in those 25 minutes.
A lot happened in those 25 minutes that we are still trying to figure out.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then a lot happened in that 8 hours.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have 8.5 hours of what really happened. What happened here? Wow. Um, I'd be interested to see if any of the victims or the survivors had on an Apple Watch because based upon the evidence with the search warrants, all four of the victims had Apple iPhones, so
Mhm.
therefore an Apple Watch would be the smart watch of choice. And I'm sure we'll be able to figure that out if we could find any evidence of any of them with an Apple Watch.
So Firefly says BF saying there's someone here as Dee Dee arrives makes the most sense in my opinion.
That's good.
That's good too.
That's
I
good.
like that. I never thought of that. And Unravel says it sounds like someone did record something. And that's what I think too.
Yeah, somebody did record something, and it appears that there was communication back and forth between Bethany and Dylan during that 4 to 4:25 a.m. period, um, because if the forensic downloads led to them securing that as the timeline of when that was happening, there has to be some type of back and forth, or them texting somebody else. You see
Sure.
what Yeah, there was something. 'Cause I know if I hear something in my household, I'm texting somebody else saying, "Did you hear that downstairs?" Or my next door neighbor who, um I have a side yard, there's an alley, a very small alley, and then she has a little side yard, and then it's her house, so my bedroom window and her bedroom window, we could probably string cups to each other, but it's about, 30, 35, 40 feet away. So probably the same distance as 11:22 and 11:12, which is, the thud video, the
Sure.
thud audio.
Yeah.
Um, we're often texting each other back and forth, "Did you hear that?"
Mhm.
So, that's plausible as well, that somebody texted somebody, "Did you hear that?" Don't know if they were friendly with their neighbors or not. I know that Sigma Chi is across the street and kinda down, so I don't know if it would necessarily be an ear watch. On all of the Instagram pics, not one showed any one of them wearing an Apple Watch. I agree, Tsunami. I haven't seen anything. My hunch would be if any of the 4 victims had an Apple Watch and wore it regularly, consistently, would be Ethan. That is my guess.
'Cause he was
He
the
was
athlete.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He is the athlete. Um,
Wasn't Bryan Kohberger an avid runner too?
yes, so I mean, um, we know I don't know if he, was one of the apples. I have to I
Right.
actually, all of my notes, I think I left them at work, or I set them down somewhere, and
Sure.
I'm in a panic actually right now because, um, all my notes that I have, I can't find,
Oh, no.
but
Oh, no.
no, they're somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch me going to my work, in the middle of the night to go find these papers, in the dark. Yeah, I'm maneuvering around my employer in the dark, to find these papers because I am, have quite the anxiety about where these papers are.
Right.
Um, I digress. But yeah, I don't know if, Bryan Kohberger had an Apple phone or if it was an Android. News Nation did an entire
Mm.
report on
On
Kaylee's
Kaylee's
Apple
Apple
Watch 3
Watch 3
months
months
ago.
ago.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add? Okay, let me say the chic antique. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome when you say it. The chic antique.
Antique.
I
Yeah.
think that's how you would say that.
Yeah.
That's such a cool name.
Um, listen,
Kohberger had an Android.
we have 210 people watching and only
Wow.
53 likes. Come on, you guys can do better than that. The like button is free to smash. If you can just get us up to 100 likes, I really would love that. And maybe if we get to 100 likes tonight, since you all here on this quick pop-up, I'm going to gift a membership. So once we get to that 100 likes, I'm going to gift out a membership. We're going to probably go about another 20 minutes or so in this this chat. The chat's been great. You guys have really given some really great tips and pointers there too, and just really pointing out a lot of great stuff. Really good conversation.
Oh, Tsunami said Kohberger had an Android.
Mm.
I believe that is yes, because the Google accounts are typically associated
Oh,
with an
you are
Android.
right. Xana was an athlete as well too.
Yes. So yes.
So let me just throw this out there. Diana thinks that she was saying as BK, she said, what if, and I saw her chat earlier. She says, what if the murders already happened before BK got there? And let's just say allegedly BK is the cleaning guy. So guys, she's pretty convinced that he's the what they call a cleaner. I got empathy. That's why he had no blood. If DM saw him, he has to hire to clean perfectly because he should know how to do it with all of his knowledge. What do you think about that?
You know, a lot of the things that they have reported about Bryan Kohberger, I think something about his neighbors said that he was he cleaning or doing dishes or something in the middle of the
Sure.
night. I believe when the Pennsylvania State Police raided his parents' house, he was awake in the kitchen with rubber gloves on, going through the trash. Yeah, so uh, yeah, I think him and cleaning and knowing how to keep the blood away from him. I think that's possible. Um, yeah, I definitely think so. But 25 minutes to get the 4 murders done and clean everything, I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
Be a lot of hands in the cookie jar.
I believe he would have had some type of protective gear on. Um, you know, perhaps it was that Dickie's jumpsuit type of thing, the
Sure.
Michael Myers Dickie's jumpsuit. Michael Myers, the boogeyman. Yeah.
Right.
Or he had, I would bet he had those slippers on over his shoes as well.
Oh, like crime scene slippers, like those booties
Yeah.
or whatever they call them. Yeah.
Yes.
So
So, I believe he did everything he possibly could to stay as clean as possible. So, yeah, that's what I think.
So D Small says that no neighbors made noise complaints, and so did their sisters. Someone who came into the house post could have had one, but there's a body cam with someone wearing one. That might be talking about Apple Watch, maybe. I'm guessing. Yeah, let's
Hmm.
see. I know I'm like kind of behind in the chat, so I'm just trying to pull things up that I thought. And then Bella's asking, how did the DNA get on the sheath? Well, I kind of demonstrated that in one of my videos. That button, should I grab it? Let me grab it. Hang on one second. I don't really like to take this thing out because it gives me nightmares. Give me a second. I don't even know where it is. Where is it? All right. So if anybody doesn't know, I'm gonna just remove this PCA for a second. So this is a K-bar. Okay, this is the suspected one that was, this style knife was used. So this has a button here, okay, and it's a pretty deep button. If you come into it you have like kind of this little leather platform here, and I know it's kind of hard to see. I don't have like my product demonstration on, but there's a little. The way to really get this open is getting your finger inside there. This is almost like a little cavernous area in here. I mean, that would collect of just touching. You got to think when you're just sitting somewhere, you're shedding DNA at all times. There's skin cells that come, there's hair that falls off of you. So I would think it would just be, opening and closing that sheath multiple times, or, maybe practicing, as sick as it sounds, something like that. But that's how I would think it would have got on there through the suspect's finger, because that's where it was located. So Let me see. I'm catching up on the chat here. Chosen Rosen says they will uncover every app that was downloaded, deleted, every email sent or deleted, every photo or video taken, every address, location, and ever typed into Google platform searches for and deleted. 1000%. If you guys can get me to 20 more, I mean, there's 230 people watching. It doesn't take hardly any effort to hit that like button down below. We want to make sure we hit that like button. When we get to 100 likes, I'm going to gift out a free membership tonight. Yeah, it's the Snap. Let me see.
Kim just said Kim Banning, but there wasn't any blood on the sheath. Was that confirmed? Do we know if the sheath had blood on it
I
or
don't
did
know.
not have blood on it?
So Bella's asking, so do you think he had gloves on? I think maybe if there was gloves used, it could have been a medical style glove, but it doesn't necessarily mean that this suspect that handled this K-bar, not this particular one, but handled the K-bar, doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't touch it before putting gloves on.
Yes, and he probably double gloved. Do we have any surge techs out there or medical professionals? He probably double gloved like surgeons do.
Right.
He just I believe Bryan Kohberger appears that he tried to dot all of his I's and cross all of his T's.
Allegedly, because he still is innocent until
Yes,
proven guilty, and
absolutely. If it was
we
Bryan. Well, I mean, I think Bryan Kohberger, the person, knowing his criminal justice background, would have been as diligent as possible.
So Arya is saying, but they did find red stains on his sheets in his apartment. That is true. There was some red substance that were taken from some, I think, some bedding or something like that, or
They cut parts
pillowcase.
of pillows or something
Right.
out.
And if the blood is from the crime scene, how was that transferred to his sheets if he wore protective clothing? Well, everything is not perfect. I mean, you got to think 4 people with a knife that's as big and as brutal as this is probably going to cause a lot of splatter. That's what I would assume. I don't know. We don't know. But I don't think it's that type of scene from what we've heard in the media reports, from what the families have somewhat said about it. It was pretty brutal. It was bad. I mean, there was some people that were completely affected by it. I think some law enforcement that couldn't. I think there was reports that it was the most brutal thing that they have ever seen, and I tend to agree.
I agree as well.
Let me see this chat real quick. Why take a sheath if you're not going to use it properly? Well, to protect yourself, I guess, from not cutting yourself. I don't know. I don't know. I think it was left by mistake, and that's why I think the 9 o'clock. When his phone pinged again, I think he was going to go back. Tsunami says doubled up latex and then black leather glove could be possible. A leather style like driving glove or something like that. Maybe an Isotoner glove. You know how prevalent those were in the O.J. Simpson trial.
Oh.
Ugh. I mean, come on, let's see. Candy says they also have finger condoms. When I used to use those. You can wear them when with gloves on the top. Yeah, actually, I've seen those before too.
Yeah.
And then someone saying, I double gloves when I entered droplet precaution rooms.
Yes.
They started following the car on video around 2 a.m. It was supposed to be near the house at like 3:26, allegedly. If he had the leather gloves on, that would protect his hands from cuts, in my opinion. It's quite possible. But what if it didn't? What if it cut his hand and that's the blood that's on, mixed with the victim's blood that's on that bedding?
True.
Let's see what else here. We're very, very close. I got 5 more likes, and then we're going to gift out a free membership to someone. Why wouldn't you want it? It's free. So Low 12, which is a new name in the chat, haven't seen this. Thanks for joining the live. Says he would most likely have multiple gloves with his criminology classes, maybe a hazmat type suit on during the murders. And this is something that we've discussed and talked about as well. It's definitely plausible. Kim is saying it is confirmed. They said one single source of DNA was on it. That to me says one single source is the DNA, or otherwise it would have had at least 3 sources of DNA. What do you think about that?
And that one single source of DNA was routed through the labs and matched to a male relative of his father. So that is how they found that. But the DNA didn't have to be blood. The DNA could have been just a skin cell, a
Sure.
hair, any type of
Oh, good point.
fragment.
Samantha Barry says, I thought they found latex medical gloves. They did.
At his home, I believe they found tons of different
They found
black
one.
gloves.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Angel Girl says, thanks for treating the victims with love and respect. Absolutely. I mean, that's what we've done here. That's what I do here. I've said we've always just stick to the evidence in the case and debate the evidence and go back and forth. That's why I always love going back and looking at these particular documents that are out there for us to look at. Because like I said, in the beginning of the stream, like to preference back, is to go and look back at all this stuff, because we're so far forward in the case now, we tend to forget and miss things. And that's why I thought this was great conversation to come up and bring this stream up tonight. Anything is plausible. I'm not saying it's a dead set theory. It's not even proven by evidence. It's not proven in a court of law yet, or to be debunked in a court of law. That's what we do here. We look at the evidence. We bring the evidence up in front of us and we say, could this be plausible? Is this what they mean? Could this have happened? Or maybe, no, it's not what we think happened. That's what makes these conversations good and productive.
Exactly, Brian. We're not experts.
I'm a schmuck in my bedroom that makes videos that hits play on my camera and go.
But this is our hobby. This is our hobby, and we're
Our
invested.
passion.
And Angel Girls, I understand that your granddaughters did gymnastics with Xana, and I could just see the spirit you said she had in her pictures. She seems like she really was a special person, and as well as the other victims. We had 4 very special people that were brutally murdered, and I think that's why we all truly care so much about the victims and their families. And yes, we don't know them. You know them. You know the Xana, but yeah, I mean, it's like it could be, the girl next door, the boy next door. So yeah, we on this we care. We totally care about this.
I want to know what
Feel for them.
happened. I want to know what happened. And if it's not Bryan Kohberger and Bryan Kohberger is innocent, then he deserves to be free. And we deserve to keep investigating this until we find out what happened. And we're going to find out what happened. I'm not going to let this case go until we find out what happens. I will continue to read about it. I will continue to look through these documents. I will continue to, look at the new documents that come out. And again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not anybody that has any type of law enforcement background or anything, but I care. And I can try to use my Google law degree and try to figure out, some of these things. And we talk and have these conversations to be productive in this case. That's why I wanted to do this, to throw some theories out there in the evidence that people may have missed. Or maybe you come to a conclusion of something else, or maybe you're, thinking one way and it brings you to another. It's just having productive conversation and keeping all the nonsense out, and treating these victims, their families and community with respect.
And maybe there's something that we say on one of these shows, whether it's in the chat or it's said on the live, that a large media source picks up on, and then maybe somebody in the prosecution or the defense says, wait a minute, I'm going to take a look at that, and maybe, something from one of us here in small town America, a point we brought up or a question we have could help benefit the case. But like we said, we're not experts, but we're just taking a look at it with fresh eyes as lay people. And we all have the same goal, and that is to put away who did this.
Right.
Not put away Bryan Kohberger, put away who did this.
Did this. Right.
That's exactly our purpose.
So Brian on the Go says 3619 sub count, way to go. And No Chain says no more. She says 3434. I haven't even looked. Maybe we can do an update, and then we're gonna, let me see what we got here. 3631. That's where we're at now. 3631. So I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody here. We got a gifted membership from Chosen. I have to gift one too. For all this love. Let's get some more likes though. I mean, 245 people. Come on, you can smash the like button. Maybe you know what it is, Laura. I haven't played the tones. That's why I haven't given the tones to everybody. So let's just
get
remind.
those tones out.
Yeah, let's get them out.
Smash, smash, smash.
You gotta smash that like button. That's what we need. All right, Chosen Rosen has gifted a membership, and Wallcat is now a member of the channel. Thank you so much for your gift, Chosen Rosen. I really do appreciate your generosity to the channel. And what we do for our new members is we play the new member tone here. Welcome to the membership. Angel Girls, I do have a cat. My cat doesn't currently live with me. It stays with my mom at the time right now. But maybe at some point he will come back here. I'm in the process of looking for a house, so it's just better to have him over there right now. But let's do this. I promised a gifted membership, so I'm going to gift one out here as well. And let's see who's going to be a new member. So what these gift memberships do is they give you gives the channel support for a month, and then you can choose after that month to up your membership if you'd like to do that. I have different tiers. My tiers start at $1.99. Go down below, hit the join button there. It helps support the channel. We got a new member. New member is Unravel. Unravel has become a new member. Congratulations. Appreciate you. All right, we are coming up on an hour. I want to do a quick stream this evening. I wanted everybody to come in, enjoy this Friday night with us. I will be back tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I already have the reminder set. We're going to do live show, live calls. I'm going to take your phone calls tomorrow night in rapid session. Call in, give me where you stand in this case at this point. I'd love to hear what you think, my audience thinks. So the phone lines will be open tomorrow night. Let's go up to the poll there. I think we lost Laura, but let's see what the audience thinks. Okay, let me end the poll. We're going to end this poll. Let's look at the results. I asked in the chat room, do you think Bethany Funke has videoed the suspect on that night? 73% say no, 26% say yes, and 114 people voted. So I failed.
Come on, man.
I failed. But let's do this. We're going to wrap this one up. I'm going to look and just say thank you to my fantastic sleuthers, my idiots behind the scene in the chat. Thank you so much. And again, the resident Agent Chase, Laura, aka Agent Chase, she says, just the facts, ma'am. I love that quote down there below. And again, thank you so much for jumping on the panel this evening.
Oh yes, I got home right before, and I got the notification, and I said, okay, I have a little bit. I had a very long day, long week. I think a lot of us can attest to that. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to jump on, and I'll tell you what's on my mind right now.
Yeah.
I got to find my notes.
You'll find
it. I gotta, yeah, and I really don't. I can't go out. I can't go to my. I work 3 minutes from my house, but I can't go roaming my employer in the middle of the night to
Right.
find my papers because it'll be dark. It's a long story, but if I have to wake up early tomorrow and go search for these papers, I will do that. I feel naked. I feel alone without my notes. Yeah, and I'm usually an electronic records person, but I had to print it so that way I can carry it with me, and when I get an idea, write it down on these papers, and I
Right.
have some good ideas, and I even bought a composition book tonight, because I'm like, I got to get everything in a notebook so I don't carry these papers. So, isn't that how life goes, guys? Like,
Right.
just when you think you have it all together, um, you can't find something. So it's been a great evening, great surprise pop up
Yeah.
live. Thanks for having me again. I hope one of these future nights we have something more. I look forward every day to checking the news and getting these notifications because we all just want answers. Yes, Victorine.
She says
My
this episode's getting my brain going. By the
yeah.
way, I put the link in the chat for tomorrow's live stream. Just click into that, set your reminder. You guys can come over and hang out 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I mean, this is all getting it's all getting our brains going. So Candy says, "Good job, Agent Chase." They're loving you in the chat. They said this was
Oh,
a great show.
thank you, Candy.
And I have to agree. And Victorine says, "Hey, I want to call in tomorrow." Yes, we want to hear from you. I want to hear from you tomorrow. Give us a call
Yes.
in. Like I said, tomorrow, phone lines will be open. We'll do a long stream tomorrow night. We'll do some hangout. I have a video planned tomorrow for that. And if anybody wants to come on the panel and hang out, maybe we'll start getting some more of the people in the chat on the stream. We'll open them up and we'll have a panel up here. SC, it's so good to see you. Oh my God. And you know what? I saw you earlier in the chat, and I'm so glad to see you because I was saying to Laura earlier, I said, I really miss BC and SC, and I'm so glad that you're here because you and your dad were on my lives when 5 people would watch me. And I never will forget the people that were here from the beginning. And I'm honored that you're taking this journey with us and you're riding along here with this journey as the channel is growing. And I never forget the names. I never forget the first names. Dr. Bob, BC, SC, Laura's been here from the beginning. Chosen Rosen, Victorine, Tsunami's been here. O'Brien that we don't see anymore. I'd love to see him come back.
AZ's been here for a long
AZ
time.
has been here for a long time since the beginning. And if anybody I forgot, Mandy Joe has been here from the beginning. So Christine, everybody. But she says, yes, both our work schedules changed. So it's been sad missing everything. It's okay. Hey, listen, life gets in the way. Shit happens. Take care of your stuff. You can always watch us on replay. Yeah, everybody misses O'Brien. Heather's been here from the beginning. What a great way to end the stream. But yeah,
Also, Amber. I believe
Amber as well. Yes.
Yes.
Amber in Alabama. Alabama, right? Amber in Alabama. I might be wrong. All right, let me give a couple of tones. We head out of here. Everybody's giving me the old. Let's see. Let's give him some Stevens. Let's give him a liar. And I got you, homie. All right, and a bing, 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 bong.
Bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
All right, you guys are amazing. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come over and chill with us. I'll see you then. Thanks for hanging out with us. Bye-bye.